Hi guys, I'm back again today with another video, and today we're checking out how the Dutch are changing my mindset. Diary of an American living in the Netherlands. I think this is the second time we're reacting to him. So yeah, let's hear him out. Before we do start, don't forget to subscribe, click the bell button. Let's get it.
So, as an American living here in the Netherlands, over the years I found myself doing some of the strangest things. And what's crazy is you don't even see it until someone points it out to you, and then that's when you realize that America kind of messed me up. All right, now I do have to say that this is not a diss track towards Americans or America or the Netherlands. And I love America just like I love the Netherlands. So if you are trying to pull up because you have a problem with anything I'm about to say, do it in the comments right after you subscribe because we're trying to hit that 100,000 subscriber mark. So now back when I was a kid living in Chicago, there was something that happened to me that I never told anybody about, but I've never forgotten it. I was with a friend when the police stopped us to frisk us. Now when they frisked us, they pushed us up against the wall, and they pushed me so hard up against the wall that I started bleeding from my head, like right around here. And that is how I got that scar right there. And I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I did not know what happened. I don't know why these policemen stopped us. We didn't look a certain type of way. We were just, I don't even remember where we were going, but I just know we got stopped, frisked, and then they just let us go. But my head was bleeding, and I never told anybody what happened. So when I got home, I just told my grandmother that I fell. And now I don't know why I didn't tell anybody about this. I don't know why, but fast forward a little bit and something similar happens again, but this time I'm with my uncle and I'm with my sister. And we were outside playing basketball, literally across the street from the apartment that we were living in. And we were allowed to stay out and hoop until the street lights came on. That was the rule. So we're hooping, minding our own business. It was just us three, my sister, my uncle, and myself. And a cop pulled up to the basketball court and was asking us all kinds of questions, then arrested us and drove us home across the street. And now fast forward a few years and I keep running into incidents like this. I'm hanging out, all my friends were Asian because my whole neighborhood, which is full of Asians. So I'm hanging out with all my friends who are Asian, and I was always the one singled out. Every time. Me, and then there was an African guy too who would eventually be in the group too. And we would always get singled out. Always. And it was just getting so bad that I would go from Fresh Prince to Carlton in a heartbeat. And it would get even worse when I would be out driving and I would get pulled over. I would always get asked to get out of the car. I would get searched. They would put me in handcuffs. They would ask if any drugs or guns, anything was in the car. Like, it was just a whole thing. Which brings me to my first way that America kind of screwed me up. For the longest time, I actually thought that this was a normal thing. Like, I thought that this was just how life was. Until I went to Germany in 2009, I want to say 2009, 2010, but yeah, I went to Germany and realized that when I act a certain way there towards people, like when I went and I was applying these rules, like the black rules, holding on to your receipt, not touching things that you're not gonna buy, things like that. Just all these like weird like black rules that
Okay, let's see this. Black rules. That's interesting. Always keep your receipt. Always stay calm. Never have a weapon. I mean, like you shouldn't, or anything that looks like a weapon. Always have ID. Don't touch things you're not buying. Avoid calling the police. Apologize if someone feels threatened by you. Don't play on another person's property or other people's property. That's crazy, but okay. Keep hands where they can see always. Wow, that's rules. Turn on any CD game when approached. Okay. I don't know what that means. Turn off maybe. Turn on any CD game when approached. But anyways, um, I mean, it's good that my mom was very like educated with black culture, even if we never grew up in the States, right? But like every time that we traveled, she would say these things, right, to us, like, "Hey, you guys," especially my brother because he's a guy, but mostly to both of us, obviously. Because you guys are black, so don't, like, when you're at the airport, don't say, obviously it's for everyone, but but don't say the BOMB word because da da da. Like don't do this, don't do that, don't look suspicious. Like she would just warn us about everything, so that we don't get in trouble, especially if we're by ourselves. So yeah, I mean, we're in a foreign country, we don't want to get in trouble. It's gonna be hard. Um, and obviously we're gonna be singled out because obviously we stand out. So yeah, so it was kind of like something that we were taught also growing up, and it's interesting because we didn't grow up in the States, but it's good that she taught us this as well because it's not only in the state that it happens, it could happen to anywhere in the world. Um just because you're darker than everyone else. So there we go. Very interesting.
things that you're not gonna buy. It's things like that. Just all these like weird like black rules that we use to not get shot or not be accused of stealing because you're already being harassed. I would go and use all these rules in Germany. My first time I went to Germany, and that's when I realized that the world is not like that. Matter of fact, people thought it was weird. Even when I
I mean, I
act
never
like that here,
had to use it,
people
so
find it so
good.
weird. I'm not even joking. Like the Dutch are just kind of like, what? Like, why are you saying sorry? Like, why are you trying to do this? Why? You know, they look at it as strange. And now look, I'm not trying to come off the wrong way. I'm not saying that America's racist. I'm not saying that because I know for a fact not everybody there is racist. But I am saying that it is not the land of the free. I mean, I still get treated certain ways when I go to certain areas, and I still have to go by these black rules that I mentioned before. It's just the way it is. So basically, your freedoms are limited depending on the color of your skin, the time of day.
Okay.
I have never, honestly, anywhere, I can say anywhere, in Asia where I've gone, all parts of Europe I've been to, I have never experienced any of that. Ooh, man, I'm nothing to everybody out today. Dang. I mean, but it is nice. It's like super nice today, too. Jeez. Ooh, that sun is hot, man. Woo. Okay, so now a while back, something happened to me here in the Netherlands where I was sitting down, I was having a coffee, and I saw someone take a really hard fall on their bike. It was a much older person too as well, and it just boom, extra, like it looked bad. But yeah, I saw this person take this really hard fall. I go over, a bunch of other people go over too as well. I pull out my phone to actually call an Uber, while meanwhile other people are saying like we should call an ambulance. Now, when I heard this, like I don't speak Dutch, right? But when I heard it, my first instinct was to do not call the ambulance because look, I'm telling you, look, in the States you call the ambulance, like you could go poor, like you can be homeless after you get out of the hospital. And now this was when I realized that to call the ambulance or something like that, it's free. Like it's not, you don't have to worry about going homeless or, you know, your next paycheck to pay for this stuff or your next 5 paychecks to pay for these things. This stuff is actually free. And to make matters worse, they were looking at me like I'm the weird one. And you know what? I was. This is actually a story that I've told in a past vlog before about how I was traumatized by the States or something like that. And it's true, man. I'm just so like, again, just that mindset of like it could cost you your home or cost you your way of life if you get hurt and take an ambulance because it's happened to people. Like I've seen it. I've done it myself. I've literally turned down.
I was sent the bill but didn't have to pay due to it not being my fault, but the bill was 37,000 because of everything they had to do in the ambulance. The fudge. 30.
Ambulance rides after getting in motorcycle accidents because it was so expensive. But it's just not, it's not like that everywhere. Think of how crazy I must have sounded not trying to get this woman the proper help that she needed because I'm thinking it's gonna cost so much. In reality, is like, it's free. Like it's free 99. And now this kind of messed me up in the sense of like, I am scared and super skeptical about going to the doctor a lot of times, even when I need to go. And the only reason is the cost and like hidden fees and bills that come later. And there are just so many more people like me that, yeah, we don't call 911. We don't go for an ambulance. We don't get in ambulances. We don't.
I think yesterday we just watched a another video about this, the healthcare video, wherein Americans would rather die than get healthcare, right? Or go to the hospital, something like that, because it's expensive.
We don't call 911. We don't go for an ambulance. We don't get in ambulances. We don't go to the doctor because it's so expensive. But yeah, I have recognized that that is a problem, and I definitely need to be better about just my health. Oh man, I'm telling y'all, man, I need to get a boat, man. Look at that guy, man. Whew. I also low key almost got hit by a bike, and that would have been my fault. I was not paying attention. Okay, so now this might sound a bit strange, but I'm gonna do my best to explain this. But I've been in the States my entire life. I'm not super into politics, but I have followed politics like pretty much my entire life. But the thing I've noticed is nothing really changes no matter what side is in office, no matter who has the power. Nothing really changes. As a matter of fact, something else I notice is if one party's for something, the other party's against it. It doesn't even matter what it is. So if one party says they like this, the other party automatically is against it. And now, don't get me wrong, this is not the case for everything, but for the most part. Then it gets spread through the news like wildfire, and then it splits the people, the citizens, basically. And also, I hope this doesn't sound like conspiracy theory or nothing like that. I'm not saying nothing like that. But over the years, I have noticed nothing changes because these people are not really in charge. Look, it all goes back to money. I mean, just for example, take the news, for example, right? And how the news is basically dividing the people. Like, they're dividing the people. When you look at who owns these news companies and these news channels, it's like one company. With all the money we have, all the money, all the resources that we have, we could solve most problems in like 1 year. But nothing gets solved. Homelessness is outrageous. Prices are through the roof. We could solve this stuff, but there's a reason why we ain't. That's why you have certain things in food that shouldn't be in food. That's also why you have these pharmaceutical ads that run like crazy on American TV. I mean, honestly, if you just be real with yourself, they're not even trying to hide it. They know, like, basically at the end of the day, it's about that bottom line, that money. Oh, can y'all hear that? The bell is saying, "Take me out to the ball game."
What the? Oh.
Oh, you know what? They are actually setting up. I completely forgot about this, but they're setting up for the jazz festival or jazz night, something. It's a whole like Thursday through I think it's like Sunday. But yeah, should be fun because I do like jazz. And now another way that the U.S. kind of messed me up is that I used to think that the world kind of revolved around the U.S. And it's almost like we are just in this bubble of just America. And as an American, this actually makes sense, especially when I remember the first time I've traveled. I didn't realize a lot. Like, I'm just being dead serious. I didn't know nothing. But for real, the moment I traveled, that changed everything. That's how I know now that, first of all, healthcare is different wherever you go. Like, it's just completely different. Also, the way that you're treated, completely different. Now, I want to be clear on this because I'm not saying that what happens in America doesn't affect other places. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that everybody ain't American. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody don't want to be in America. Everybody's values and entitlement, it's not the same. Like, it is, no, you don't see that same kind of entitlement everywhere you go. It's just, it ain't there. Before I started traveling, I used to think that, like, America was this, America was that, America was the best at this, the best at that. And then you go somewhere else and you're like, huh. Like, I even remember thinking about other countries as like, these countries must be third world countries. I used to think that. I'm not even joking until I traveled. But it makes sense because I heard this quote, and this makes total sense based off of what we consume, especially in the States. But the quote is, whatever entertains you, trains you. And that's pretty much the media summed up in.
Actually, that is a good saying. It makes sense. It's true. Like the people that you hang out with are, the people that you are. My hair is not herring, but yeah, like you hang out with the people who are similar to you, right? So if whatever you consume, you watch is what trains you. So that's why like the media is feeding these people like, oh, the rest of the world sucks, you guys have it good. um this people are not good, they brainwash you to just stay in that bubble, oh, so sad.
In the States, they are training everybody to think that this is the best place to be. You should stay where you at, or it's not safe in other places. When in the reality is, it's not the like. I mean, our rankings on almost every level: safety, education, food, health, everything. Everything's kind of behind. Like I hate to say, like we've kind of fallen off.
I mean, education not probably, I mean, maybe it's good, but maybe not the best. So because geography in itself, they're not good, right? We know so much about America, Europe, um, Asia, Africa, but they know only about America. And also, what was it? I was gonna say something. My brain just doesn't function
On
sometimes. So wait.
almost every level: safety, education.
Oh, the safety, right? There's a lot of Americans who are like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go to the Philippines. It's not safe. Well, like every place in the world, there are places and situations where it's unsafe, but I feel like it's safer than America, to be honest, because nobody goes to schools and start rups or anywhere else. Like nobody rups random, because there is a sense of community and culture. So the only person you brup is your enemy, but you do not brup like random people. Like yeah, those things happen, but on most circumstances, and it's very rare that it happens, is this person doesn't like this person, or like like those big people, or like hitman. Those are the news that we get, but it's never like I went to a school, or I went to a church, or I went to a crowded place and I just open brups. It's never, and hopefully never, right?
Food,
So you're not
health,
paranoid like who's gonna.
everything's kind of behind. Like I hate to say, like we've kind of fallen off. Oh man, that's super nice. It's always nice to see like people on boats and stuff. Man, I gotta get back to work, but I don't want to. And plus, I got one more thing that I want to say, and that is
What's his work?
that is about consumerism. Like this man, I used to think that this was the way that you should be, because that's what I seen around me. That's what I seen with my friends. Everyone's just buying up stuff like crazy. Just you gotta have this. You gotta have this. Oh, this is new. You gotta have this. And this is something I've touched on in so many videos. But it is like every time I see it, I'm just like blown away at how crazy people get in the States over just stuff and having stuff. Gotta have the latest shoes, gotta have the latest purse, gotta have the latest drip, the newer car. In people's minds, like it's just all they're doing is just buying because they're only being sold to. And they don't even know that they're being sold to. And at the end of it all, they're just left with like a bunch of stuff. Not even nothing meaningful, just stuff. Oh man, low-key, this is like one of my favorite spots and my favorite shot. Look at that shot, man. Come on. Come on, pimp. Let me see if I can turn it up a bit. Let me turn y'all up. And I will say, I used to be the same way. I'm like, I can't even lie about it. I really did. I mean, luckily, I saw this while I was in the States, and it just saved me so much trouble, so much time, so much money, so much space. I mean, don't get me wrong, it still creeps up every now and then, but man, I cannot tell you how good it feels. Like I'm still getting rid of stuff today. Like I'm just I cannot do that consumerism anymore. I mean, I just don't have the energy and time for it, man. But I think what's even crazy is that how can people afford all this stuff when they broke? But yeah, those are the things that America kind of
You
messed
tell
me
me,
up with
actually.
and made me realize that I'm actually messed up from spending so much time in America and picking up on these habits. A lot of it I'm over, and I've been lot better with, but a lot of them I'm not. Like, I'll be real, some of this stuff is really hard to kick, but I am over like consuming stuff. Like, I'm telling you, I ain't never going broke. I did my nickel. I ain't going back. But now I gotta get back to work. I hope you guys enjoyed it because I enjoyed making it. And let me know in the comments if there's something that you're struggling with or something that you got from like American habits. I would love to know. Cause not for nothing, man. I have gone to a lot of countries and you do see like the younger crowd, they are kind of creeping up just like someone has mentioned before. I have seen it in different countries too as well. Like people wearing all these bags and buying all these shoes. Like it don't get me started. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it because I enjoyed making. I will see you in the next one.
Nice. Yeah. Consumerism is also very popular here. I see people prioritize the latest iPhone than paying rent, you know. I don't know. Their priorities is not clear. And they're like, oh, I'm broke, but then they're in like Starbucks. I'm like, what are you doing there? Like you can literally make your own coffee and it's cheaper. Um I don't know. Some people like the status. It's like so important to them to have or to be or to afford something that they can't. Like they would go broke just owning the latest iPhone. I'm like, is that so important to you? Um, like I'll own a car before I own a house. Like, is that like really your priority? Like, you don't even have a place to park this freaking car. I know you're gonna buy it. And then some people will be like, Rookie, why don't you have a car? What do I need one? Do I need one? No, I don't. Leave me alone, right? I enjoy being a passenger princess. I enjoy not having to have a headache of where to park this thing or maintenance, right? Like, I don't like that problem. Like, let me have what I have and not have what I don't want to have. Like, I don't want more problems, right? Like, leave me alone, universe. But anyways, that was very good information, actually. Very, very good information. Well, hopefully I can upload again tomorrow. If not, probably day after. Just click the bell button so you know whenever I do upload. I'll see you then. Bye.